Hey everyone, this is Paul with Origami Air, and today we're going to talk about researching a brand, or a sponsor, or a client that might work with us, that might want an event that you could be an angel at. So this is a very important skill set to use, not just for when you're throwing events and trying to create an experience. You'll also want to do this if you're ever going in for a job interview and you want to learn a lot about a company so that you know what to ask, you know what you're getting into. So you can use this in a lot of ways, so let's jump into it. So the brand that we want to go after is PlayStation. And if we search PlayStation, what's going to come up? We want to go to their official website. So we land on the website and we start to find a little bit out about the brand. So you should scroll through quickly, see the aesthetic, see kind of the way they're presenting themselves, just sort of soak it in and see what's going on. Now, an important question to ask yourself initially is, what are they offering? We see that they have games and hardware. We see the games all over the page, and then we also see hardware. So we know that this is a video game company, and they also have some services like their online services. So we know basically the products and services that this company offers. Now let me give you a little secret that I love to do anytime I'm searching around about a brand. I like to find a competitor. So if we jump over here to Xbox, which is clearly a competitor to PlayStation, and we jump through their site, we see that their site's actually very similar, highlighting a lot of the brands, letting you know that they have software and hardware. So this is clearly how the big boys, the big competitors, are doing it. So once we've sort of done some initial research, I highly encourage you to go to other channels like YouTube. This is PlayStation's official YouTube channel where they promote a lot of their games. You can see them promoting their hardware, but be sure to jump around on different platforms from Instagram to YouTube to just the web and see what you can find. Now that we've sort of done a little bit of initial research, what are some of the things that we look at? Well, one of the things that I love to do is look at the actual aesthetic. What does the brand look like? So we see this black, white, and blue, and we see it clearly throughout kind of everything they do. Even in their console and their hardware, they're embracing this aesthetic. This seems to be their core aesthetic, and then they have a lot of fun with all their games, which are each their own unique brand with a lot of personality. And I think that this gives what gives this site so much sort of life is there's a lot of fun and active things going on. Again, I think if we go back to one of the competitors like Xbox, you're seeing a very similar approach. We see the green and the white highlighting all the games and really kind of giving off the same feel. So you can see that this is not necessarily a crowded space, but there's a way these big brands handle things and they know what works. And why do they do things this way? Well, they know what works for their customer. So that's the next thing to think about is who is the audience for PlayStation? I'd say it's probably anyone from the ages of 8 to 45 who likes video games, likes technical things. So you're starting to really understand a very specific demographic. Yeah. So another thing that you're starting to see once you understand the aesthetic is the brand has sort of a personality. As a whole, the Sony brand, which is the brand that owns PlayStation, seems to be very clean. And so this is a great opportunity to jump in here. And what we find is here's Sony as a larger company. This is the company that owns PlayStation. And we see, again, they're this very clean visual brand. And let me give you a secret. A great place to always go is the About section about companies. If we look at their purpose and their values, you get to see that they have a clear mission. It's fill the world with emotion through the power of creativity and technology. And so if you jump back to their website, you see that that's really what they embrace through their aesthetic and through their messaging. Now, here's a question that I think is really fair to ask is, okay, PlayStation's a massive brand. What type of event would we do? Well, I think that they would probably choose a specific game, because if we look at their channels, we see that that's kind of how they handle their promotion and their content is around specific game launches or specific hardware. So let's start to think about how we might achieve an objective for a specific brand. Let's choose this Rollerdrome. All right, Rollerdrome. This looks kind of cool, 80s style. If we find out more, we jump in here, and if we imagine ourselves trying to throw an event for Rollerdrome for PlayStation, we start to see that we have all sorts of cool assets that we can hang on the walls in the space. We have some language that we could repeat. This is a really great way to start thinking about where you would find things to use at the event as a tool. And again, it's really important to understand what the objective of the client is. And you'll come to us at Origami Air and we'll let you know what that goal is. But it's so important to understand how powerful going online and searching for information about a customer and client is. I hope this is helpful. Again, go to Google, go to YouTube, find the URL and website of the brand or the company we're going to work for, and then always search for things like the About. The About is always a really powerful place to find out like what companies value, and it'll help you be a good guide for anybody that shows up to their events. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.